Happy Monday. So we're here again for another episode of Mompreneur Mondays with Black Girl Magic Creative Series. Every Monday, I come on and I highlight and discuss important and valuable tips, anything that relates to entrepreneurship, anything that simply relates to being a parent or emotional wellness and physical healing. And so for these past few weeks, if you have been following, we have been discussing and going over different forms of advice and or things that tap into our mental and our emotional healing. And while these topics are very important to touch on, it's also important to take it back to the beginning. I am what? A mompreneur. And so I want to approve a message today to really just go into encouraging the mompreneurs, because it's very hard to try to manage a business and home life and social life and work life and whatever else you have to do. It's very difficult. So first, I want you to take the time to just breathe and just pat yourself on the back, because it's extremely difficult. And in order to survive, I'm going to provide at least 2 or 3 valuable tips and how to not just survive, but thrive. Not survive, but thrive as a successful mompreneur. And that is to one, we need to just develop great time management. If you have been falling off, it's okay. Go buy you a calendar. If they don't have a calendar for this year, you can go and you can create your own calendar, and or you can just have a little notebook with you, whatever it is and whatever it takes. We need to get our time management back, and we need to get it zoned down, because things are only going to get more hectic, because when you're trying to move forward and push forward with your dreams and your goals, especially when you have children, things can naturally become difficult. I mean, things are already difficult for anyone, but it can maybe feel more intense if you have children, because not only do you have to look out for yourself, but you have to look out for other beings, and so on and so on and so on. So if you're in that situation, time management is essential. Go out and buy you a calendar. Once again, if there are no calendars for this end of the cycle year, then it is okay. Go and get you a small notebook to carry around with you, and you can go on Microsoft Word, and create your own calendar, and you can start writing out your information, and you can keep it in your glove compartment. You can keep it anywhere, that in your purse, in your bra, not in your bra. Not in your bra. I can't do that. All right. So not in your bra, but just seriously, we want to get back to time management. After we develop our time management, then we need to get our support system in order. So our support system is extremely essential to our success, because we know that we can't do it alone. We cannot do it alone. And as much as we try to feel like, we can do it, and eventually things will get done, but we know that we will need that support. So really sit down and take a day. We need to take maybe half a day or a full day to really sit down and get our time management in order, and we need to figure out who our support system is, so we know who to call on at what time frame, and this and that, and take it from there. The last tip I want to leave us with as a mompreneur, after we get our time management and after we get down our support system, is to remember to keep our costs cut down low. So we can, as new mompreneurs, or even when you're in the game, it's exciting to we want to just, we see something, we want to use this marketing tool, we want to use this, we want to use that. However, we need to be wise about where we are in our part of the journey. And if you know that you're not bringing in a lot of income, then it's wise to not pour so much into the investment costs, the initial investment costs first, if you're not pulling in that much finances, and it's consistent that you're not. And so it's not to say that you should never ever invest into yourself, or you should be afraid of the excitement that you see when you have these different marketing tools. But use this time to be creative. If you see a marketing strategy that costs, maybe they're trying to charge you $150, And they have a beautiful layout. It's all good. It's all great. I want to encourage you to go down to what? Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree, and you need to go down to the 99-cent store or whatever, these bargain stores. Seriously. And you can create whatever these stations for $150, they're charging you $150. You can go down and you can create your own. And it may be a little more time consuming. However, you have now saved a ton of money. You have now invested your own craft, and you have now allowed yourself to really pour into your heart, which will in turn allow you to actually increase your price because you are now putting more labor into it rather than just paying someone else and using the startup cost. You're now actually putting in more labor. So you can actually use it as a win-win. You're not only saving money from a large investment, but you're taking the time to invest into smaller things, creating your own and pulling out your own creativity, using your own mind and not being afraid of your own self and your own natural talents and gifts, and then using that to eventually capitalize off of. And so I hope that this has been inspirational for people or individuals who are mompreneurs, new to the game, already in the game, or even just you're just an individual who just is inspired by this. So I just hope that we are remembering to just leave with these valuable tips and tools to, one, have time management. 2, we need to get back to our support system. And 3, we need to remember to cut down on our costs and to not be afraid to tap into our creative nature and really just take the time to just, if we have an urge to focus on ourselves, we need to complete that. So I hope we all have a beautiful and prosperous day. Until next week, we're still going to be beautiful, amazing, and bold, and ourselves. And we're going to respect ourselves, and we're going to love ourselves, and we're going to build ourselves up. And we're not going to be so hard on ourselves because these times can be rough. But we know that we're strong, and we know that we're resilient, and we know that we are made for this fight. And we're not here to just survive. We're here to thrive, and we're here to prosper. And if there's ever a time when we begin to feel like there's too much on our plate, we either need to ask God to enlarge our plate to a platter so that we can still feel like we have wiggle room, and or just learn how to start saying no. So until next week, I'll be back. Bye.